Good morning, dear student. Today we are going to take a revision of chapter number 4, Current, Electricity and Magnetism, also force and pressure. In this part we are going to learn about electric cell. You can see the different pictures which are showing electric cell, and these cells are to be used in various electric appliances. These are the day-to-day life examples of electric cell. Now the first type of this is the dry cell that we are going to learn. The mechanism and the structure of the dry cell. Here is a diagram of a dry cell which is representing the each and every part of dry cell. We can see the positive terminal, the negative terminal at the carbon rod. Also, the middle portion is showing the covering of zinc. Now let us understand the mechanism and the actual structure of dry cell internally, how it to be appeared. The batteries are different from the wet cell because their electrolytes are contained in a single cell. A dry cell is consist of zinc container whose base is act as negative electrode, and the carbon rod is placed at the center with a brass cap which is act as cathode. Mixture of manganese dioxide and charcoal is there around the rod. The electrolyte is used in moist paste. The outer body, excluding the base of the zinc container, is insulated with cardboard to prevent graphite rod from coming in contact with zinc container. So now we are going to understand about the working. When the dry cell is connected in a circuit, it's comprising a bulb, and current flows in the circuit due to the chemical reaction that takes place in the cell. So this makes the bulb glow. The electrode in the dry cell battery has two terminals, one that is positive and one that is negative. When a bulb is connected to the battery's terminal, a chemical reaction occurs between electrode and the paste that produces roughly 1.5 volt. The electricity produced is conducted out of the battery with the help of an external circuit. So this circuit physically connects the battery to an electronic device to function. Now we are going to learn about lead acid cell. The diagram is given in your textbook as we can see on your screen. There are two electrodes. First, we are going to learn about the characteristics of lead acid cell. Lead acid cell can be recharged. It contains a Pb electrode. It is a positive terminal which is called as lead oxide electrode, negative terminal. And electrodes are dipped in dilute sulfuric acid. The potential difference is nearly 2 volt. They have a capacity to deliver large current. As we can see the diagram properly, you have to practice for the diagram of both lead acid cell and dry cell, and also you have to by heart their structure, characteristics and mechanism. These kinds of electric cells have a capacity to deliver large current. For vehicle like car, like truck, tempos, as the capacity is higher, the battery will be working on a high power. So these are the different pictures which are showing the working of the batteries. Nickel cadmium cell. Nowadays, these days, a variety of gadgets gadgets are available and which are required to be carried to different places. Such gadgets use nickel cadmium cell. The cells deliver 1.2 voltage potential difference and it is rechargeable. This is very important. Now the next part is electric bell. This part we have studied in the last video also, but this is quite difficult. That's why I am taking again for this video. So here is the internal structure of the electric bell which is showing on the screen. How it's to be appeared. The mechanism of the electric bell is given in your textbook. Here we are going to discuss the various parts related with the electric bell here. There is a push switch at the bottom. There is a battery and the coil of wire, because the wire is covered with the coil, and a striker and a gap. The gong and the striker roles a very important role. That's why you have to write neatly the each and every part which is showing the structure of electric bell. Next revision is about Archimedes principle and their examples. Let's take it. So use your brain power here. Explain the observation in the earlier experiment according to Archimedes' principle. Now we are going to introduce the scientist Archimedes. He was a Greek scientist and mathematician with sharp intelligence. He found out the value of pi by numerical calculations. His knowledge of levers, pulleys, wheels and physics was useful to the Greek army in fighting against the Roman army. He became famous due to his work in geometry and mechanics. When he entered a bathtub for taking bath, he discovered the above principle by observing the overflowing water. He came out in the same state and shouting, "Eureka, Eureka," it's mean, "I found it, I found it." The use of Archimedes principle is very wide. This principle is used in construction of ships and submarines. The instruments such as lactometer, hygrometer is based on this principle. Now, density of substance and relative density. We know that density is equal to mass upon volume. The SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. The property density is very useful in deciding the purity of substance. So, the relative density of substance is expressed with respect to the density of water. Relative density is equal to density of substance upon density of water. This being the ratio of two equal physical quantities, it has no unit and it is also called as specific gravity. Now we are going to learn solved examples based on this. First example, the area of the bottom of tiffin box is 0.25 square meter and weight is 50 Newton. Calculate the pressure exerted by the box on the shelf. The given values are area and weight of the box. After that, we have to write the formula for the calculation. Pressure is equal to force upon area. Put the value in the formula. 50 upon 0.25. You will find the value 200 Newton per meter. So now calculate the relative density of iron. If the density of water is 10 raised to 3 kilogram per meter cube and density of iron is 7.85 into 10 raised to 3 kilogram per meter cube. So given density of water is 10 raised to 3 kilogram per meter cube. Density of iron 7.85 into 10 raised to 3 kilogram per meter cube. Find the value. Relative density of iron is equal to density of iron upon density of water. Put the value in the equation. 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 3 get cancelled. The remaining value is 7.85. It has no unit. Next example number 3. The area of the tip of the screw is 0.5 millimeter square and its weight is 0.5 Newton. Calculate the pressure exerted by the screw on a wooden plank. Here the area is equal to 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 square meter. Weight of screw is 0.5 Newton. To find pressure is equal to weight upon area. Put the value. Weight is 0.5 upon 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 6. 0.5 get cancelled. 10 raised to minus 6 become positive 6 as it's going to the numerator. Next example. Mass of a block of metal is 10 kg. Dimension are length 50, breadth 10 cm, height 20 cm. It is given in the figure. So if the metal block is placed on the following surface on the table, find out on which of the surface will pressure exerted on the table be maximum. All the surfaces are given ABCD, CDEF and BCFG. Weight of the block is 10 into 9.8. It is 98 Newton for ABCD. Length is 50 cm, height is 20 cm. Therefore, area is equal to 50 into 20 as per the formula length into breadth. So it is 1000 square centimeter. By converting into meter square, it is 0.1 meter square. To find pressure, weight upon area, weight is 98 upon area is 0.1. So it is 980. For CDEF surface, length is 50 cm, breadth is 10 cm. Therefore, area is 500 cm square. By converting into meter, it is 0.05 meter square divided by pressure is the formula weight upon area. Put the value 9800 upon 5. You will find 1960 Pascal. For BCFG surface, height is 20 cm, breadth is 10 cm. Therefore, area is 20 into 10, that is 200 square centimeter, means 0.02 meter square. To find pressure, weight upon area, weight is 98 upon area is 0.02. 98 upon 0.02 square meter, so it is 4900 Pascal. So maximum pressure, smaller the area of contact and larger is pressure. Example number 5. A piece of marble tile weigh 100 gram in air, density 2.5 gram per cc. What will be its weight in water? Weight in air is 100 gram, density is 2.5 gram per cc. Therefore, volume is 100 upon 2.5, so it is 40 cubic centimeter. So therefore, according to Archimedes' principle, when the piece is dipped in water, water of volume equal to the volume of piece, that is 40 cubic centimeter will be displaced. The loss in the weight of piece will be equal to the weight of displaced water. So weight in water is 60 gram. Thank you.